Here we go. So it's gonna be so hard to do this without like too many ums and ums and all that stuff. Anyway, today's product review is on the Rogue V3 trucks. I've had these trucks for a couple of months. I've mainly been using them for freeride, but I've been having a lot of fun. I finally dialed them in a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, and I'm really stoked to bring you guys this review. I think these trucks are actually like really sick. But I see a lot of people selling them because they're not really getting the right feel out of them, or they're saying they're not really the cup of tea. I think like a lot of other trucks out there, sorry, my notes. Like a lot of other trucks out there, you do need to sort of spend time dialing them in. Like Valkyries, for example, I think you need to know what you're doing, or you need to have someone experienced on hand, or someone knowledgeable on hand to tell you what you need to do. And if you don't have either, you're kind of screwed. So with this, yeah, with this, I'm hoping to be your experience, so I can help you guys and help you get what you need to know for these trucks. Anyway, um, yeah, okay. So first things first, what is the problem with these trucks? What's wrong with them, or what's difficult about them? Because there is something that makes them hard to ride, and if you don't know what it is, you're going to have a hard time sort of figuring them out and getting the feel you want out of them. And that problem is they have a lot of lean. Now these trucks don't have a bushing seat, and they use tall barrel bushings, and that obviously gives you a lot of lean, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing. But the bad thing is, if you just go flat washers all around, these trucks are going to lean forever, and that can have some problems when you're riding. So for example, it can make it difficult to have like a end of lean, to know when to kick out for your slides. And that end of lean is really nice. It's good for kicking out for slides, gives you a lot of confidence because you know what your trucks are doing. If you have like endless lean, it can kind of feel like your trucks get lost in the lean, and you don't really know what's happening. So yeah, endless lean isn't necessarily good. The reason these trucks have endless lean, like I said, is that they use tall barrels, and they don't really have a bushing seat. With a lot of other tall barrel trucks, they have a bushing seat that kind of acts like a cupped washer and tells you when you're like at the end of lean, when you're pretty much done compressing these trucks. With these trucks, you don't have any of that. So yeah, but there are a lot of solutions you can use to deal with this endless lean. So number one is you can run cupped washers if you're running tall barrel bushings in these trucks, and that's actually what they come stock with. The cupped washers help give an end to that lean and tell you when you should kick out your trucks, or blah blah blah, all that good stuff. And yeah, actually, back in the day, looking at a lot of clips, looking at all those Venom Setup Saturday videos, people who run Rogues used to run a lot of cupped washers. And I think because these days we're using like slalom trucks and stuff like that, and they typically don't use cupped washers in most of the trucks, it feels a little bit weird then using cupped washers in a setup like this. But yeah, they do need cupped washers, and I also think they do need like um, just generally even like flat washers on the base plate. I think you can run them without the flat washer, but it feels better when you run it that way. Another solution to curb that endless lean is using is using short barrel bushings. Also, guys, I'm sick, so I apologize for that. I already told you. The problem with short barrel bushings, though, is that you're going to have to get a bushing shim. Right now, I'm using one from Valkyrie Trucks. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, like here. I'm using one from Valkyrie Trucks. It's pretty nice, gets the job done. But short barrel bushings get to that end of lean much quicker. So they give you that nice feel, and I much prefer short barrel bushings over the solutions that I've been talking about, like cupped washers for the tall barrels, or for example going with more voluminous bushings like kegs, and going for harder bushings. Harder bushings and higher rebound bushings don't really work as well, in my opinion. Um, the problem with the trucks is that it's not that you don't get like any support in the lean. It's just that that lean is endless, and it's not necessarily that nice. But yeah, also inserts do help control center feel, but they don't necessarily help you with getting an end to that lean. But yeah, I like short barrel bushings because they allow me to have like that leany, flowy, turny feel from these trucks. But they give me that end of lean, which is really, really nice. And that's why I prefer them in these trucks, at least for freeride. To be very honest with you guys, I haven't really skated these trucks for downhill or hands down downhill all that much. I just been skating them mainly for freeride, so I can't talk too much about it. But I did do a couple hands down slides, and they do feel quite nice as is. So yeah, so that's the problem with setting them up, and that is kind of how you can deal with it. Okay, so the next thing I really don't like about these trucks is, or that you might have a challenge with or may not have a challenge with, is the number of base plate options available for these trucks. So you only have 50 and 44 degrees. I know some of you guys are saying, hey, Abuga, but they actually say they have a 20-degree base plate that you can use. They do. They actually do. But this is the slalom base plate. So if you put these on your trucks, because these are designed for slalom, if you put them on your V3 Rogues, the rear truck is actually going to ride considerably higher than the front truck, and this obviously is going to have some negative performance characteristics. It feels quite weird, and I don't like it. So no, this isn't a base plate for the V3 Rogues. It's a base plate for the Slalom 2020 Gold Rogues, and whilst it's compatible, unless you have like a crazy flush mount in the rear of your truck, I don't recommend you use it. So realistically, all you have is 50 and 40 degrees. 50-degree angle is great, but the 40-degree angle is a little bit awkward. It is nice for wedging and de-wedging. You can easily wedge it up to 45 or wedge it down to 35 degrees. But I really feel like they're missing out on not having a 30-degree or even like a 20-degree or 25-degree base plate option specifically for the V3 Rogues. And it doesn't really make sense why they don't have this available, because Rogues have, in the past, they had, I think, 50, 43, 30, 15-degree base plate options available. And they probably just have those files lying around somewhere. It just makes sense for them to just kind of share them. I don't know, but they should definitely have more base plate options available. I will also say that Rogue has teased that they're going to be making a 30-degree cast base plate, probably this year or next year. I'm not really sure. And that's pretty exciting, and that solves the problems I have with these trucks. But and obviously, this is not going to be a problem for everyone. No, everyone's going to, want what it is that I want. But the cast and the precisions don't fit that well perfectly. But I guess that's a problem to cross. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. As well, guys, remember to like the video, share, subscribe, all that bullshit. Anyway, so yeah, that's my problem with the base plates. Finally, let's talk about how the trucks ride. The trucks have a sort of linear relationship between turn and lean, because they don't really have a bushing seat. Like, they just feel really nice, like when they're leaning and turning. They have a really flowy feel. It doesn't really feel like the trucks want to dive aggressively. Also because of that insert. That insert gives you a lot of center, but it doesn't want to come off that center quite aggressively. So with some other trucks like Paris or Caliber trucks, like, they do have center, but they don't want to keep you there as aggressively as the inserts on this one do. So with these, sometimes diving off that center quickly isn't all that nice, or you can't really do it all that. You can be aggressive, but even though you're aggressive, you're not going to get like such a quick dive, into the turn. So there is that. Yeah, but they're nice and flowy. I do really like how they feel, especially with the short barrel bushings. I also do think with the short barrel bushings, I'm going to be running like much softer bushings. Like, I might go with the 85A, but I'm not really sure. I haven't really tested it, but I think I can get away with something much softer than that. So yeah, let me talk about how I have actually set mine up. So right now I have mine, again, short barrel bushings in the front. It's at 50 degrees. The bushings I have are 90A Venom bushings. I do think I'd much prefer like 87A, at least roadside in the front. I think I would prefer that. And also do think I could get away with much softer than that. I will say I do weigh about 84 kg at the moment, because of Ramadan. I've been gaining like a lot of weight. Fortunately for me, I haven't been able to exercise and work out the way I am used to and the way I'd like, unfortunately. Anyway, so Yeah, and then in the back, I've de-wedged it to 35 degrees, and the bushing I'm running are 97A in broadside and 95A roadside. Again, short barrel bushings. I have also heard that some people just prefer to run the short barrel roadside, so maybe that's a solution that you guys can also look towards. But yeah, otherwise, they're awesome trucks. I'm happy with my set. I'm not selling it anytime soon, but I do think they could be more friendly overall. Um, yeah, and if you don't want to get them, I don't blame you guys. Like, I got them because I got a discount on them, and I thought I could make them work. And I also, I don't know, I just had some. I just thought like the 20-degree would actually fit these trucks, and I could sort of make it work or whatever. But I am happy with them as they are now. I do understand why some people say they're not their cup of tea or they don't really like them all that much. But I really like mine, and I really recommend them. Actually, like if you do keep the things that I've said in mind, they can work really well. I think that 145 to 155 width is a really nice sweet spot. Um, yeah, you can go on 55, run freeride wheels like this is banana wheelco wheels. Review coming soon, by the way. Or you can go 145 and run slightly wider square lipped wheels. I haven't done that. I should. I probably will. But yeah, it's just really, really fun. Anyway, that's the end of the review. I'm gonna allow you guys to ask any questions you want to ask now. So yeah, Aaron Mugabe just woke up here in the States. Wagwan, bro. I hope your day is going great now that you've started your day watching a Downhill 254 video. Shout out. Aquarius, hey dude, I was visiting San Diego from. Yeah, I saw your comment actually. And you saw someone with the Downhill 254 shirt. I saw you commented on another video. I saw what you said. And yeah, that's pretty sick. Um, I really like that people out there are wearing the merch. I wish I had more nicer merch for people to wear, but it's just really tricky sorting all that stuff out. And yeah, I'm gonna wait like 2 more minutes for anyone who has questions for this live video, and then I'm gonna finish it. Um, but yeah, I think I've talked about pretty much everything I want to say. If anything, I wish I got more footage. I wish I skated these trucks more, but I'm pretty stoked with them. Um, as is. I just don't have the time and the energy. Like Ramadan is crazy, bro. Uh, but all good. I'm also sick, so today I'm not actually fasting because I'm feeling terrible. But yeah, if you have any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. Uh, yes, yes. Okay, so I guess no more questions then. Okay, I'll wait like 2 more minutes till we hit that 15-minute mark. Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm just feeling terrible, man. I think I have COVID again. I feel trash. Okay, I guess no more questions. Okay, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope it's been. If this video doesn't come out well, I'm gonna go watch the live stream. If it doesn't come out pretty well, um, I'm gonna have to reshoot everything, which sucks. But I can do it anyway. You guys take care.